am so excited.
Me too.
To share with you guys how to decorate a tree. All the tips and tricks.
You guys had so many questions last year.
Yes, so many questions.
Yes.
If you guys caught last year's series, you know Christmas is kind of a big deal around here.
Definitely.
So we're excited to share all the tea with you guys today, show you how to decorate like a pro. Let's get into the video. So if you are new here, this is my mom. We are at her house and every year we love to go crazy with Christmas.
We go crazy.
So we're in the front room of her home and this room can handle 2 trees. So we have one up, one 12-foot tree, and now we're gonna put another 12-foot tree because we like to do whatever we want and we love Christmas. And this room can really handle 2 ginormous trees.
It needs 2 trees.
It
It looks
needs 2
off
trees.
if it doesn't have 2
Yes,
trees.
it does. So we love balance, we love symmetry. So we're definitely gonna be decorating them the same. So we're gonna show you how to replicate this exact tree and share all the tips and tricks so that way you can take your own theme and modify it, use our tips and tricks, and have yourself a beautiful tree. So we're gonna start by setting up the next tree, and we're gonna show you some tips on setting up the tree as well. So let's do it. Step number 1, figure out
How to do it.
How to do it, how your tree goes together. It's always like, which way is the ABCD? Is it backwards? Is it whatever, figure it out. The first thing we're gonna do is fluff the tree as it goes up, especially with this tree being so large. We found that it is definitely easier to fluff as you go.
Then to put the whole thing together and then try to be like, I'm trying to fluff it. No, if your trees goes together like stacks, this is something new that we're doing this year that we learned from last year.
Yes.
Is to definitely just fluff as you go.
The other thing I want to mention with this tree is it has branches that are actually more like on the inside of the branch. So it has all these extra little things. You could easily just start fluffing from here and miss that. And that's really what's filling in like the inside of your tree. So make sure that you are fluffing all of the inside branches as well, moving them different directions, making sure that you are really filling it out as much as possible. It's so nice. I don't know if it's new technology. I feel like it's probably within the past few years that like you just plug and go. You don't have to search for the plug. You don't gotta do the whole like, where is it? And it just goes out. Love that. It's wonderful.
This tree is so tall that we are going to fluff it and put the star on before we even put it on the top. Otherwise, it's really hard to do. The top of the tree is all fluffed, almost ready to put up. We're gonna go ahead and do the star.
Yes.
But if you watched last year, you know that we have a trick for this.
We do. So we're gonna take, because this is, I don't know why. Why
do they make trees like
Why
this?
is this like this?
No star
You
is
see
gonna
this?
sit on
No. Sad day. So what we do, kind of bunch a little bit of the branches up at the top so that way you kind of get this, at least a little bit of a good base going in there, okay? Now,
Normally it would just fall.
it would, look at that. But you take a long wooden spoon, okay?
But nobody's gonna see
No one's gonna
anyway.
see. You're gonna put it on the back of your tree.
I don't know if they can see it. Well, you get it.
You get it. You
goes
get
in the
the
back.
idea, okay? I'm gonna take some of these old pipe cleaners and I'm going to wrap this around kind of the center point of the tree and hook that spoon on there. So now
it makes this nice.
nice and sturdy, okay? What we're gonna do is get it up there and then we're gonna show you guys. Okay, see? Then it stays. Of course, we're gonna get it up there and finagle
Make
it.
sure it's
Make sure it's
straight.
straight and the whole thing. But we wanted to get this part done because it's really hard to be up in the air, especially on a 12-foot tree. If you got a shorter tree, you can get away with doing this part afterwards.
Yeah.
But we're definitely gonna do it beforehand. One thing that we are adding to these trees, especially because they are our statement trees, we are adding extra lights. They're already pre-lit, but adding that extra strand of lights really just makes the tree glow, especially at night. So right now we have all the lights on this tree. I'm gonna unplug our extra strand so you guys can really see the difference. Hopefully that's showing on camera. We'll do another shot for you guys, but it really just adds a lot to the tree. We noticed we were out shopping, trees that have like 3,000 lights just seem to glow in the most beautiful way. You could also add some fairy lights in it. You could add the little micro lights that are very popular this past couple seasons. You could add those throughout, but the main thing that you want to do is add lighting that is the same color. So we're using a warm white. You wouldn't want to go in with a cool white. You want to make sure that all that extra lighting matches. So the way that this tree is lit is a lot of the lights are just on the outside of the tree. So the extra lighting that I am adding, I'm actually taking that deeper into the tree, and I'm only going around the front of the tree, and I'm just gonna wave my way around the whole front. I'm not as concerned about the back. I want as much lights on the front where everything is visible. But if you did have a tree that you were trying to light from the street, then you would definitely want to add that extra lighting, add your ornaments that way too. But we don't have to worry about that in this case because you really can't see it from the street. But all that extra lighting, just to give you guys reference, this tree has about 1,000 lights on it. So for a 12-foot tree, that's really not that much lighting. It is lit really pretty, but the extra lights really makes a difference. I'm only adding an extra 400 lights to the tree, so it's not that much, but it definitely does make a difference. And of course, to your personal preference, you could add as many lights as you want. Let's talk about my favorite part, which is ribbon.
Ribbon, yes.
Oh my goodness. I feel like ribbon just makes the tree come to life.
Yeah.
I don't know. It adds everything to it for me. You can really fill out the tree with ribbon, and I feel like it just, like if you look at a beautiful tree and you're like, gosh, what's going on with that tree? I feel like it's ribbon.
It's the ribbon.
It's the ribbon.
And there's so many different ways to do ribbon. Last year, Kylie did, like every tree had like almost a different way of doing
style.
it. Yeah. Real quick, one of my favorites that you did last year is she actually just, I don't know if you can see this one very well, but she took the ribbon and she cut the end like you would like a bow, and stuck it in just different pieces that came out through the tree. Gorgeous.
Don't worry, we'll have more tutorials.
Yeah, we'll have more. But for this tree, the way that you did it,
we used 2 different ribbons, and so I kind of just put them together. So I usually like to have more of a sheer one behind and then one that has some type of pattern on the front of it.
It's like a peekaboo ribbon.
It is a peekaboo, and I just love that. I really, also with a tree this size, when we're talking about scale for a tree this size, the type of ribbon that you pick is really important. We're not gonna put little skinny, tiny ribbon.
Oh,
on
that
our
would be
tree.
like, you would have to go, I mean, it would be so long to get around it.
So this was a trick of making the ribbon actually look a lot bigger than it actually was, because we saw these, we loved them. First pick the ribbon that you absolutely love and then make it work, right? So, but if I were to just go ahead and put this all the way around, even that on a tree this size would be too small. So another option is if you do find a really big ribbon that you love. This is the one we used last year. I love.
Which in the past I have always been afraid to do big ribbons.
Yeah, I showed her that.
I was like, no,
I don't know.
No.
I was like, trust
and then
me.
she did it, and I was like, I can't believe it's so good. I am no longer scared of big ribbons.
So yeah, they get ribbon like up to huge.
Yeah,
you know,
that
just
you
the
can
shape
that you can make with it with the bigger ribbon it's really beautiful.
Yeah. So we first took these, and then later on I went in with a little bit of tulle here, just to fill out the tree a little bit more.
Just give it a little something.
Yeah,
something.
just a little something, something. It's not something that's going to overwhelm or distract you from the star of the show ribbon. It just kind of fills out the tree a little bit. So anyway, okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to get this whole thing put together. I feel like it can be intimidating, but I'm going to show you how easy it can be. I wanted to quickly explain how I am putting this ribbon on the tree, and it really is as easy as just layering them on top of each other. You kind of find a section where you can place the ribbon, and I actually have been using the branches on the tree and just curling it over, and then I kind of fluff here. So if you don't have these type of branches that bend really easy, to give you an example, these ones here that are more like a plastic type, like they don't bend very well and they're just thick. So you can't really like bend them back in this way to make that ribbon stay. So if you don't have this type of tree where you can use the branches to place the ribbon where you want, then you can definitely use pipe cleaners, or you can use ribbon wire, whatever you want to use. If you have a flock tree, you can use white pipe cleaners. And if you have a green tree, you can use green or brown. I found hides really well. So either of those options, but I will say that using the branches instead of using these seems to like cut the time in half that it takes to do the ribbon. The ribbon is always the longest part, but it is well worth it in the end. So Trey, you think this looks like toilet paper?
No.
Come on, dude.
No.
Come on.
See-through.
No.
See-through.
Oh no. You're gonna ruin it.
Oh, nice.
You like the way the tree looks so far?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think
My
it's
help?
pretty? I'm almost done. Do you want all this glitter on you?
No.
Are you sure? You want all the glitter? Next up, I'm going to add beads. So I think that people think you have to do like one or the other. You either have to do beads or ribbon. I personally like to do both, especially on a tree this size. We definitely have the room to add the beads. The beads they're not like a standout feature, but I do feel like they add to the tree, and it's something that in person, when you walk up and you can kind of just see the hint of a little bit of those beads in there, I think it really adds to the overall look of the tree. If you're not all covered in glitter at this point, then you're doing it wrong, okay? So we wanted to talk about our ornaments and kind of selecting ornaments, because it can feel a little bit overwhelming when you're shopping.
What color do I do? What theme do I do? Does this color go with that color?
Yes, especially when you love them all like I do. Yes. It's very hard to narrow it down. But our theme this year is, we're calling it sage and champagne with a little bit of white.
Yes.
Okay, so we definitely have, these are, I know, like it's gold, you
Yeah.
know, and
It just sounds better to say.
it does, it sounds better than gold and seafoam.
I would say
right?
like the bows that you use more are definitely, well, I guess they're gold, but they're champagne. So.
Yeah, once you get them on the tree, it's champagne, okay? But we have lots of gold, and we have a number of different types of ornaments. So when you're selecting ornaments, it's really important not to just select all balls, all round. Give yourself some different interest points to look at on the tree. So we've got flowers, we've got ginormous, I want to say balls. We have ginormous pine cones.
Right.
Very big snowflakes. This is like a really good size flower, I would
Yeah,
say.
and we actually have a couple of different ones. Like you have this one in here too.
Yes, just to
so
add that color
when you
in.
pick a tree, make sure you pick a color. Make sure it is one of your favorites.
Yes.
Right now, this is my favorite color.
her
That's
favorite.
why she chose to do the tree this year, this color. Real quick, we were so excited about it too. And when we got home, we had a flocked tree.
Yes.
And when we put it in the tree, you couldn't even see it.
You literally could
We
not
didn't
see it.
think about that. So
No.
make sure that if you have a flock tree that you're gonna pick more probably darker or like the bright reds, things
Yes.
like that you can see.
It
If
really
you have a
can
green
show.
tree, then you can get away with things like this because then it'll show up.
Yeah, you got some contrast. And I don't know if it's just the way that the lighting was coming in off of these windows. We
Yeah.
struggled a little bit with this last year. If you remember the tree that we did in here.
We wanted
Last year,
hunter green
We
and
were
then
obsessed with the hunter green.
we really worked hard to get hunter green.
and then they were
bulbs,
turned out black.
and then they were black.
They looked black
so-
in the tree. So yeah,
Anyway.
it's definitely important to kind of think about your space. So anyway, we have a number of different styles of ornaments, things that are going to add interest to the tree. And of course, when we're talking about scale, these absolutely look tiny on the tree. They do not look very
When
big.
you're back, maybe
when
up
you're
close.
back.
Yeah, when you're back,
But
they
when
look
you're up close, you're
appropriate.
like, whoa, oh my gosh, that's a really big ornament, and it fits the scale of the tree. We're not going to be putting little teeny tiny bulbs all over the tree,
It wouldn't work.
this size, it just would not make sense. So I love what we have selected this year.
My favorite.
And I love our theme. I think it's super fun. And let me know what your guys' theme is this year. Drop a comment down below, let me know. I think it's so fun. We have a lot of themes going on in this house, so more to come. I always start by placing the biggest ornaments in the tree first. If your tree is really sparse, this is the perfect time to really fill in those gaps as well with big ornaments. A lot of people like to take the bigger ornaments deep into the tree as well, so that way they kind of fill everything out and they also just kind of peek through. Our tree is definitely pretty full, I think. So I prefer to kind of have these more sticking on the outside, so I probably would place it here. I think that these ones are just so pretty and just make the tree glow. Another favorite part of the trees is picks. So I want to show you guys what we did this year, and the picks really just help to fill things out. So once we've got ornaments done, I like to go in and put picks all over in any of your little empty spots that just need it. And it really just adds a lot of character to the tree, kind of gives it a little bit of life, a little bit of whimsy. I love picks. So we have two different styles that we're using this year. We have this white one, and then we also have this one, but this one we're not actually using because
No, we found a trick. So every year we've been buying them because it has the little claw,
yes,
or whatever you want to call it on there.
Some of them don't have a claw, they're just like extra long. You can kind of just like jab them in there and they stay.
Yeah.
But this one we bought at a different store. We got this from At Home, and then we were at Hobby Lobby, and then we saw this garland,
Which is the same
the
thing,
exact same.
only so much cheaper.
Yes. Especially Hobby Lobby has been doing like 60% off their Christmas decor this season. I don't know if it's still on sale by the time I put this up, but this garland ended up only being like 12 bucks.
Yeah.
So this whole thing, we were able to cut it apart. A lot more than this came out of it. We had a whole huge stacks of them, and we just kind of made our own picks that we can stick in the tree.
Which I thought were so much better because these sometimes, especially on this big of a tree, just don't quite
just, like,
cut it.
right.
You need it to be longer. I want it to stick in there and look
Yeah.
pretty. So this was so much better and cheaper.
Yes. So if you have like, you know, I know a lot of times too, like the extra little branches that are frosted or different things like that, always check the garland. Check the garland area.
first, see if you can just make your own.
Save you some money, and they just seriously add so much to the tree. It's worth that extra little effort. Last, but certainly not least, is the tree skirt, or in our case, a blanket.
Which is crazy. I have never done a blanket before, and I've never thought about doing that. So.
But it works perfectly. So the tree skirts that we were looking at were way overpriced. The tree collars to fit trees this size were super expensive. So we thought, hey, what about a super cute little soft throw blanket? Everybody's already talking about how soft it is. They don't want it to go underneath the tree, but that's where it's going.
Yeah. I'm sure that my dogs are gonna be sitting
They're
on
gonna
it.
love it. They are
so.
gonna love it. So another way to save some money, if you're looking at those tree skirts and you're like, holy cow, just order a blanket off Amazon. Easy peasy.
It looks great. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm happy with it.
So I hope you guys learned some tips and tricks today, and that you feel well equipped and have the confidence to decorate your tree like a pro this season.
Yes.
It is our favorite time of year. You guys know that.
Yes,
And of
yes, yes.
course, we have so much in store. It's gonna be a really fun holiday season, so make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!